Thank you, guys. Here's a question from online. For a student in our youth ministry who is walking down similar road as Bart has walked, how do we create a welcome space for them to still feel like they belong and are safe in our ministries? Bart, can you take that one for us?
Here's the thing. I, as you might expect, I'm the humanist chaplain at the University of Southern California. And then I have this podcast that goes out all over the world, right? So I hear from, it's called Humanize Me, and I hear from all these post-Christians. And so when those people, and the kids at college, many of them have left the faith. And that's one of the things that has driven them out of their churches where, for instance, like they love gay people. They're friends with gay people. And when the church is dogmatic about gay people, they go like, I don't feel safe here anymore. And so one of the things is that the youth group has to embrace a form of spirituality that doesn't exclude or doesn't damn people that aren't like us. And so the more interfaith friendly a youth group is, the more likely it will be to keep its Christian kids. But if you make it us, you're either with us or you're them, a lot of kids will go, well, I'm maybe with you, but I have loved ones that are with them, and I don't want to be a part of a club that excludes them. So I think the more inclusive your youth group is of people that don't believe like you do, the more likely you are to keep the people that do believe like you do.
I need to say what in the book that you were talking about, the why I left and why I stayed, I have a section that begins with, I saw it coming. As somebody who's a youth leader, there are signs that somebody is slipping away from the faith. Mm-hmm. Among the signs that I saw was, first, Bart stopped going. Now, I know what he's going to say. I stopped going to church because I stopped believing. And my response is, no, you should stop going to church. And they're two equally legitimate positions. And that what church does for a young person is creates a plausibility structure that denies the supernatural, that says this life is all there is, that has a kind of existentialist, nihilist perspective on reality. And here's the church over here saying, no, we believe something different. We have a countercultural value system. Anybody that doesn't see Christianity as a countercultural system is kind of blind to what's going on in society, because society negates everything that we're about as Christians. We are the countercultural people. And to maintain that countercultural perspective, constant reinforcement from people we do, to renew, to revitalize, to regenerate. If I had to do over again, I'd make sure that Bart went to a church where they recited the Apostles' Creed every Sunday, just to have that over and over again. I believe in God the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord. You cannot maintain those beliefs unless those beliefs are reinforced, revitalized, regenerated. In the Middle Ages, Bart has, because the entire society was religious. We live in a post-Christian era. True. And at this point, if you're going to be a believer, you have to belong to a group that constantly reinforces that. And so as kids drift, young people will tell you this stuff if you're a youth worker. I still believe in Jesus and I still believe in all the gospel stuff, but I just can't stand church. I don't see any point. Walk away from church. When you walk away from church, you're walking away from the plausibility structure that will keep your faith alive. Secondly, Dad, questions about what he was reading. And for a period of time, he seemed to be reading all of these books that would take people away from God. And, books by Dawkins, people like that. And I think that you can't avoid that kind of reading.
Can I cut you off, Dad? Can I cut you off?
You need to balance that off with religious stuff as well.
I know they're running out of time, Dad, so that's why I'm trying to cut you off.
Oh, please.
And I would just add to that, I agree with everything Dad just said, that on some level, here's the thing, is that like, if you blew up all the science books in the world, 100 years from now, they would all be rewritten again because the same evidence would lead to the same conclusions. But if you blew up Christianity, it would be very hard for people to reinvent it. It's this very amazing story. It's this kind of too good to be true, amazing thing that still may be true. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is that if you want somebody to stay committed to that worldview, you've got to keep them in a structure that constantly reinforces it. And so ultimately, have a lot of meetings. Get your kids together a lot. If you want to keep them in this faith, you've got to protect them from being in a place where it is torn down. And the rest of the world is a place that will tear it down.